Hi folks, and a very, very warm welcome to this masterclass. If we haven't met before, my name is Louise Presley-Turner. I'm one of the UK's leading personal growth experts. I'm an award-winning speaker and a Hay House author. So I'd like to welcome you today to my very latest masterclass called Modern Marketing Miracles. And I just want to take a second before we get into the content to explain who this is for. This masterclass is for all service-based businesses, and more specifically it's for those businesses, those individuals that really want to make a difference in the lives of others. So heart-centered businesses or individuals that really want to make their mark on the world and help as many people as they can in their lifetime, those that are really following their joy and their passion. I've recorded it specifically for these individuals. Now we're going to spend about 45 minutes together today, and I just want to tell you a little bit about what I'm going to be sharing. So first off, the very first thing I'm going to be sharing with you is how to come out the closet, if you like. So a lot of individuals that want to help, want to make the world a better place, want to make their mark, want to touch as many lives as possible, often that can be a really scary prospect. And I want to teach you, I want to show you, I want to motivate you so that you can come out of the closet if you haven't already, so that you can kind of show up more fully in the world. So that's the first thing, to really live your purpose. And it is your time. It is time to step up. The second thing that I'm going to teach you is the number one business foundation that you absolutely must have in place. And I see so many businesses miss this vital foundation out, and then they struggle further down the line to market and get clients and stay in business. So I'm going to reveal what this foundation is and show you exactly how to put it in place in your business. I am then going to help you to create what I call your business value funnel. Fundamental, because what we don't want is a hobby, we want a fully fledged business. And if you're going to earn a good living from your passion, from your joy, you need a value funnel. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So by the time you leave this masterclass, you will have your value funnel. I am then going to teach you or show you how to charge your worth. So many people undervalue what they do, and especially because it's something they love doing, it's their passion often, that they end up giving it away for free or give their time away for free, or they just undercharge. And I'm going to put a stop to that, and I'm going to share something so important with you that's going to really change your mindset around pricing. I am then going to show you how to market your business. I'm going to teach you some of the old school traditional ways of going to market versus the more digital new school way of marketing. The landscape of marketing has changed vastly over the last decade, and I'm going to kind of show you what is working right now, and more importantly I'm going to reveal exactly how I market my business, exactly the strategies that I'm using right now this year that are working, bringing clients to my door every single week, every single month. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing. And finally, we're going to talk about mindset mastery, because your mindset plays a huge part in whether you succeed or fail in business. And I want to make sure that your mindset is working for you rather than against you. So this gives you a bit of an insight on the stuff that we're going to be going through today. Now, I'm a big believer. I'm sure if you're on a similar path to me, you'll feel the same. I believe that when we are ready, the right person, the right opportunity, the right book, the right course comes along. When we are truly ready, we're in the right place at the right time. So make no mistake, you are meant to be here with me today. And my promise to you is there are no smoke and mirrors. There's enough of that already out there. I'm going to be totally honest and upfront with you about what works and what doesn't work. And more importantly, I'm going to leave you. My promise is to leave you with a game plan so that you can implement the stuff that I'm going to share with you immediately into your life, into your business, and make it work for you. And there is nothing for sale on this masterclass, which is quite refreshing, really, isn't it? There's nothing for sale. This is content, juicy content for you to take away. I genuinely care that you do your thing, because this world needs as many game changers as possible right now. It needs more people to step up into their power and live their purpose. And this is why I'm doing this masterclass, right? Because I want to help as many people to make their mark, to help as many lives, to help awaken the people out there that need to be awakened. Now, if you like my vibe and you like what I have to say and you find it of value and you think, well, yeah, maybe I want to work with Louise, then I will give you a link at the end where you can find out a bit more information. But that is it. Now, let's check in before we get into all of the content today. Does this sound like you? You're desperate to leave your 9-to-5 job and solely work on your business. Maybe you've recently trained or recently launched your business, but the phone isn't ringing and clients aren't coming. Maybe you're still not clear on your target market, your niche, and what you should be charging for your products or services. You just can't seem to increase your email subscribers, or maybe you're following on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube or whatever platform you're using, and you know how important it is, but whatever you seem to do, you can't seem to get your numbers up. Maybe you're just full of amazing ideas for courses and programs and workshops and retreats, but you just don't know how to package, market and sell your ideas successfully. Maybe you see your competitors getting the results that you want and you just feel totally paralysed by compare and despair. Maybe you are totally exhausted, you're burnt out, thinking, you know what, this isn't how it's supposed to be. And maybe you're feeling really scared now that if you do not sort this out fast and find the way forward, that you're going to have to let go of your business dream once and for all. So if any of these statements resonate with you, stick with me, because I am going to reveal the solution to each and every one of these problems. Now, before we get into any further detail and I start sharing some of the modern marketing miracles with you, I want to just tell you a little bit about me, because this might be the first time that we've met. I'm one of the UK's leading personal growth experts. I am a spiritual teacher, I'm a speaker, and I'm a Hay House author. Now, so far I've written 2 books. I have written Finding a Future That Fits and Mindset Mastery. And I'm busy working away on my 3rd book at the moment, which is due out next year. And I've helped thousands of people all over the world with books, courses, membership sites, retreats, private mentoring and coaching to change their life. And I feel very blessed and very privileged to do the work that I do. Now, I've been featured in, well, pretty much all of the women's glossy magazines like Cosmo and Glamour and Spirit and Destiny, Natural Health, Psychologies, and newspapers like The Telegraph and The Guardian. And I've travelled to really wonderful, exciting places and spoken on stage with some of the world's leading gurus like Louise Hay and Gabby Bernstein and Doreen Virtue, and I've met some amazing people. I remember meeting Wayne Dyer at a Hay House party that I was invited to, and we were all having a meal together, but unfortunately never got a picture with him, which I regret. It didn't seem a very cool thing to do at the time, but hey ho. So I've met these amazing individuals and I feel very privileged and very blessed. And actually very recently I was nominated and got through to the finals of Best Speaker UK alongside Sir Clive Woodward and Jason Vale. Again, a huge privilege. And you know what? I'm most proud that I've been able to grow my business, run my business alongside bringing up my children. So I've been at home for my kids, and that has been an absolute joy for me. And just to share a bit of backstory, as a child, I was a real seeker. So right from early on, I was always wanting to know why, and I always felt people's emotion. I was very sort of sensitive, if you like. And, you know, I just about kind of scraped through school and pretty much finishing my education fell into a line of work which happened to be marketing. I worked for an advertising agency where I met my husband actually 20 years ago, and basically spent a decade working my way up, you know, in that industry. And I was all right. I was pretty happy at the time, but I think it's fair to say that, you know, I lived from paycheck to paycheck and holiday to holiday. You know, it was quite a superficial way of life, to be honest. And it wasn't until my daughter was born 12 years ago that it woke me up a bit, I think. And the first time in my life I sat up and thought, there's got to be more to life than just working, and she was in full-time childcare, and I think it was the first time that I thought there's got to be more to life. There's got to be another way where I can have more freedom, where I can have more purpose and meaning in my working life. And as soon as I started to think this way and started to ask these deeper questions, the universe kind of swept in. It was waiting in the wings for me, really, for me to kind of start asking these questions. And when I did, books started to come into my life, books that I would have never picked off the bookshelf. And these were books. Initially, my first book was called Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting, and it was all about manifesting and how you can change your thoughts and change your life. And I found it hugely empowering because it opened a door into a world that I didn't even know existed. It ignited a fire within me that, I couldn't extinguish it. I had to kind of keep moving forward. And I read books on quantum physics. I read scientific books on psychology and neuroscience. I read spiritual books on energy healing and the law of attraction and all that kind of stuff. And eventually this path led me to the point where I realised I wanted to forge a new direction. I wanted to leave my old career in marketing, and I trained 11 years ago as a life coach because that felt like the right route at the time. And for about a year, whilst I was training, I was trying to set the business up, and I still had to keep the day job. It was a hard year of my life, but eventually I broke free. And when I did, I was fully able to put my energy into the game of life, my business, thegameoflife.co.uk, growing that business and really, making my mark and writing my first book and all of the stuff that I did. It has been a tremendous decade of my life. As I said, I feel truly blessed to do the work that I do. And as I said, I'm most proud that I've been able to do this while being home for my kids. Now, I just wanted to share this story, share my creds with you, but also share my personal story because I want you to know this. I am you. I am no different. I'm no more gifted, no more educated, no more spiritual, no more lucky than anybody else. I've just taken action and followed my passion. I am you. Maybe, yes, okay, I might be a few steps ahead, but I am you. And I just want you to know that there's no such thing as an overnight success. We are all on our journey. And those that are successful are truly the ones that stay true to their passion and keep moving forward. And I want that to be you. I really genuinely do. So hopefully this gives you a bit more insight about who I am. So let's move forward. Let's talk about our first modern marketing miracle. So miracle number one is all about stepping into your purpose, into your power, creating a movement, if you like. Now, I believe we are all here with a divine mission, a passion, a joy that we are supposed to live out. Now, unfortunately, most people don't live their passion. They stay trapped in jobs or circumstances, relationships that don't serve them, and it keeps them sort of stifled. It stops their growth. But we are all here truly to make our mark. And I think it's true to say that it can be really terrifying to step out away from the crowd and do something that might be a bit left field maybe. I remember telling my family and friends, all about this new direction that I discovered, this spiritual direction, this self-development path. And I remember telling them that I was going to train as a coach, and I'd already got a career and a great standard of living and all these perks that I had, this lovely lifestyle. And here I was saying, hey, I'm going to leave all that behind and I'm going to pursue this kind of wacky route that people didn't know what coaching was back then. And my friends and family, while supportive, I think were very dubious. I could see it in their eyes that they were thinking, what, you're going to write a book? You're going to do what? And I think it really takes a brave soul to leave the familiar surroundings of the flock and kind of venture out alone. But I think what I would say to you is, if you're looking back at your life at 90, you don't want any regrets that you should have written that book or started that business. This is your time. The world needs you. It needs as many game changers as possible right now. And we look around and we can see that. It needs brave souls that are willing to step up and take on their assignment, because you do have an assignment and you know what it is. And that's why you're watching this video today. So are you brave enough to step up? Are you ready to sort of fully come out the closet and immerse yourself in this world and fully get serious about your business? Now, I think as coaches, teachers, experts, writers, practitioners, consultants, whatever your job title, I think we all share that common passion, desire to help other people, to make a difference in the lives of other people. And often it's not money that motivates. And I think when you have a joy and a passion, it's not money that's driving us. It's an important element. Obviously, you need to earn money to stay in business and to grow and to help more people. But often it isn't money that motivates. And unfortunately, this leads to a lot of people doing too much free work and depleting their energy or undercharging, which I'm going to come to. But I think one thing, a good check-in point, I often say to clients, if I was to win the lottery tomorrow, and that would be wonderful, I'd pay my mortgage off and I'd help my family and friends out, I'd buy more shoes and have more holidays, it would be great. But I'd still be recording this video for you. I would still be writing my third book. I'd still be putting my next retreat together. I'd still be recording all my vlogs. That wouldn't change, because this is not a job. This is a calling. It will always be my passion. It will always be my calling whilst I'm here on planet Earth. And I think most of the people that I help and I work with feel the same way. It is not a job. It is so much more than that. And if you feel that way, then it is time for you to step into your power, to step forward and say, I am ready. I'm scared and I don't know how I'm going to get clients, and there's lots of things I've got to figure out, and hopefully I'm going to help you with some of those things today. But I am ready. I am fully ready to step into my power. I'm going to make this year my year. So my message to you today is that it is time to stop hiding. It's time to stop, hiding yourself away and to start playing bigger. So I want you to ask yourself, how important, how committed am I right now, this year, to fully step into my power and really get this business going and touch as many lives as I can. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you? 1 being, well, I'm not committed, I'm not bothered, and 10 being, I'm ready. I'm scared, but I am ready. So where do you sit on that scale? And we need you to be up there at a 7, 8, 9, because that will give you the drive to push forward and to make it happen. Okay, welcome to miracle number 2, modern marketing miracle number 2, which is called solving the big problem. So now you are ready to step into your power, to take on your divine assignment. We need to get to the practical stuff of how to get the foundation sorted in your business, how to market your business, all the things that you need to have in place. So solving the big problem is the biggest and most important foundation you have to have in business, because if you miss this, and so many new businesses do, if you miss this, you are going to come unstuck, and ultimately it will lead to the failure of your business, and we don't want that. This is your passion. We want to make sure that you have the right foundations to carry you forward, and you need to get clear on what problem you are solving in the world. So many people kind of get into business and they think they're going to help everybody. They train as a hypnotherapist, a coach, NLP practitioner, a therapist in something or other, and they genuinely think, well, I can help anybody. I don't want to limit myself. I don't want to limit my market, so I'm going to keep myself open. Anyone that knocks on my door, I'm going to help them. But here's the truth. You cannot help everybody, and more to the point, you can't market to everybody. So if you try and be a generalist, if you try and help everybody, you're going to really struggle when it comes to marketing, because you're not going to know how to market, where your people are hanging out, and ultimately that's going to lead to failure, and we don't want that. You need to decide where to hang your hat, because if you don't, you will struggle. And let me just share this with you. When I started out as a life coach, we were trained as general life coaches that, we could help anybody with any goal. The same process, that we were taught would help anybody with any particular goal. So I stepped out into the world, as a fresh business owner, and I thought, right, I'm going to help everybody and anybody. Anyone that knocks on my door, I'm going to be able to help them. And for about the first 18 months of my business, I did attract clients, and I did market myself, and I did okay. But here's what happened. I was a generalist. I was a jack of all trades, master of none. And what that meant for me was that I had a diary full of all different kinds of clients. So a typical day for me could have been a client in the morning that wanted to lose 5 stone, and then mid-morning it could have been somebody that wanted to save their marriage, and in the afternoon it could have been somebody that wanted to work on their confidence issues, and then later on in the day it could have been someone that wanted to start a business. So I was depleting my energy trying to basically be everything to everybody. And I wasn't giving my best to the client, because you can't be a master in everything, can you? You can't. And there were some things as well that I really didn't enjoy coaching around. So for me, like relationship coaching just wasn't my bag at all. I'd been married forever and hadn't had any experience of divorce or all that kind of stuff, so I found it really uncomfortable coaching around that subject. And there were other subjects where I really got excited, and for me that was the spiritual stuff and the the life purpose and all that kind of stuff, which I absolutely loved. So I got clear. I got burnt out before I got clear, to be quite honest. I got to a point where I thought, I can't do this. My prices were sort of were low because I was a generalist, and I was starting to fall out of love with what I was doing. So at that point I realised I needed to make a fundamental change in my business. I'd made a mistake somehow and I needed to kind of get clear. And that is when I niched. That is the point when I decided, okay, this is the route that I want to go down. And for me at the time, it was life purpose, the spiritual journey, all that kind of stuff. And here's the magic. When I got clear where to hang my hat, that is when magic happened. That is when my business pretty much exploded overnight, because I started speaking at the right kind of events. I started recording videos on the right topics, and basically people started to seek me out. People were coming to me, the right kinds of people, and that is when I got publishing deals. That is when I started to get into the nationals. That is when I got real traction in my business, and I tripled, quadrupled really my income, because I decided to niche and hang my hat. So if you think about, for example, you were getting a divorce, you're going to go to a solicitor, right, that specialises in that area rather than a generalist solicitor. If you have a heart issue, you're going to go to a consultant that specialises in that, not your general practitioner. You might do initially, but you're going to be referred to somebody that specialises in that area. So this is key. It's a key foundation that you need to make sure right now that you have in place. So I've got 2 questions for you today. Number 1, I want you to ask yourself, who do you most want to help in the world? So who is it that you most want to help in the world? And number 2, what problem do you want to solve for these people? So what problem do you want to solve specifically for this group of people? Now, the answers might not come immediately right now, but I want you to write these down, and I want you to give it some time and attention. And if you be quiet and sit quietly, they will come. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but the answers will come. You will get the clarity, because this is gold dust. You can't market your business. You can't build your website. You can't put yourself out there and become more visible if you don't know this information, because you will become a generalist and you're going to find it very difficult to attract clients and earn sustainable income. So when you understand the big problem, and here's the key, when you understand who your people are and what problem you're helping to solve for them, what result you're delivering for them, you can start to build your brand, your website, your social media, your offering around the problem, around the solution, around getting that result. So when someone hits your website, the first thing we want them to know is what you do, what problem. The truth is, people really don't care about how qualified you are. They don't. They don't care about how many qualifications or how long you trained or where you trained. People are out there in pain, emotional, physical, whatever it may be, and they are just focused on finding someone or finding a solution to the problem that they have. They're wanting a result, and that is their primary focus. They don't care about how qualified you are. They care about, are you the person? Are you the person that I'm looking for that has the solution, that knows how to help me to move forward? So the key is to make sure that when they hit your social media page, your Facebook page or whatever it is, or your YouTube channel or your website, that they immediately know that they're in the right place. It is the most important foundation you have to put in place. So let me finish by repeating those 2 questions again. Number 1, who do you most want to help in the world? And number 2, what problem do you want to help solve? Welcome to Modern Marketing Miracle number 3. It is time to create what I call your value funnel. So just to explain, your value funnel is basically your offering. What are you going to sell to people. Now, your value funnel can also be called a business model, a sales funnel. It can be called lots of different things, but for the purpose of today, I'm calling it a value funnel. What we want to make sure is that you don't just have a hobby. Hobbies are great, but this is about turning your hobby into a proper business, earning really good money for what you do, because the more money you earn, the more lives, of course, that you're going to be able to touch, the more you're going to be able to invest in your business and help more people. We do not want a hobby, we want a proper business. And in order to make sure that you have a proper business that earns great money, you need to have a value funnel. So let's take a look at this lovely example that I put together for you. And in front of you, you're going to see what looks like stairs going upwards. This is a typical service-based value funnel. So all businesses, whatever they sell, products or services, will have a value funnel. You know, even a clothes shop will have a value funnel. Car manufacturers, all sorts of businesses. But this is a typical service-based value funnel. You know, coaches, hypnotherapists, NLP practitioners, consultants, this is kind of what it would typically look like. So if we look at the very first step, you can see that it says free stuff. So initially when we're growing our business, when we're starting out, we want to have, or not just starting out, but for the whole duration of our business, we need to be offering free stuff, because it engages our audience, it brings them into our brand, it helps them to build a relationship up with us. So free stuff can be, by the way, you know, it could be a blog, it could be a vlog. I do a lot of vlogging myself, videos. It could be a free consultation that you offer, or it could be lead magnets. So lead magnets are opt-ins, like downloading an ebook or a meditation download or PDF document, workbook, planner kind of thing. These are all free things that you put out there into the world to engage people, to kind of get people into your brand so they get to build up that trust and rapport. Now, once they've consumed some free content from you, they're much more likely to then feel like they want to buy something from you. They're much more likely to want to spend some money with you. So if you take a look at the next step up our ladder, if you like, we've got low ticket. And that could be an ebook, it could be a book, it could be a workshop, it could be some kind of low ticket offer, which is the next logical step for them. So you've given them some free stuff. What is the next logical step that they could take? Once they've taken that step, maybe then they're ready to spend a little bit more with you. So if they've spent £10-20 with you, maybe the next step is for them to join an online course, a mid-range product, maybe a retreat or a full day workshop maybe that you're offering. And then maybe the next step after that is some kind of high ticket offer, and it could be some kind of one-to-one program or some kind of big group course that you're doing. What you offer is different for everybody, but the theme here is that you're taking them up a value funnel. You're meeting them where they're at. So whether they want to spend nothing with you, whether they want to spend a £5 or 50 quid or £5,000 or 20 grand, you're able to meet them where they're at. You've got something on the table to offer them. Now, there'll be always people that, you know, just consume your free stuff and never buy anything from you, and that's okay. And there'll be some people that don't, you know, need any free stuff and they're just going to jump straight to your high ticket offer. It's different for everybody, but the key is you don't just want one thing that you offer to the world, not really, because you want to be able to have something low ticket and something mid-range, something high ticket. So this is just something for you to think about. Really what you want ideally is multiple income streams. You don't want so much in your funnel that it's overwhelming and you can't sustain it all, because that's not what I'm talking about. But certainly you want a good few, 2, 3, 4 things that you offer for free. You definitely want some kind of low ticket. You definitely want something in your mid-range and something high ticket. So maybe 3 offerings is more than enough. Now let me be clear about something. When you are starting out, so if you are right at the very beginning, typically you're only going to have 1 or 2 things in your funnel initially, right? So, and often that is one-to-one, right? Because that's the easiest thing to get going with, and that's absolutely fine. As you progress and you grow in your business, you'll be able to add more things in, like retreats or workshops or online courses and products. It's absolutely fine to have a sparse value funnel to begin with, and then you flesh it out as you go forward. But just be mindful not to fill your funnel with too much stuff, because if you have too many things on the table, you run the risk of not only burning out but confusing your client. It's a bit like going into a shoe shop and being presented with 10 pairs of shoes, it's overwhelming and you're going to probably leave the shop having not made a purchase. Whereas if you have 2 pairs in front of you, you're much more likely to make a buying decision. So this is your opportunity to create your own value funnel, to sit down and really think about what you're going to offer for free, what you could offer that's low ticket, mid-range and high ticket. Now, just one thing before I finish on this miracle, I want to just touch on online courses. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors and there's a lot of people out there teaching leverage. When I say leverage, I mean creating an online course. And I've done many online courses, I've done many membership sites. They're tremendous fun and they're a real game changer in your business, because it means that rather than helping your clients one-to-one, you can help a group of people at one time. But there is a right time to leverage. There's a right time to launch your online courses. And if you haven't got a mailing list yet of a few thousand people, if you haven't got a social media following yet, it is not the right time to start or put out an online course. You need a following of people. You need a Facebook group with lots of people. You need a mailing list. You need to have a community of people in which to sell that online course to. Otherwise, you're going to create an online course and nobody's going to buy it. So there's a right time for leveraging your business. And if you are right at the beginning, a good starting place is to start with your one-to-ones and then progress into more online products and services once you've got your following, your list built, your community in place. So I just wanted to make sure that you're aware of that. So time to flesh out your value funnel. Draw your own value funnel. Get clear on what you are going to be offering. The most important thing, so the next conversation you have with someone, you know exactly what you are selling. So welcome to miracle number 4. Modern marketing miracle number 4 is about selling transformation. Now, here's the thing. I think one of the biggest sticking points that I see when I work with new business owners is that they find it hard to charge for their service. And I think it's because often that we love what we do so much, or it's a real deep passion that we almost feel like we should be giving it away for free. And it can be very difficult to put a price tag on what we actually offer, whatever that may be. But I'm going to share something with you today that is a game changer, because this is a big sticking point and you need to charge your worth, because if you undercharge, your business isn't going to grow. It's not going to be sustainable. You're going to have to go and get another job to support your hobby or your passion. It's not what we want. Remember this, if you charge your worth, and the more that you earn, the more you can invest back in your business, in advertising, in mentoring, in whatever. And therefore, the more people you're going to be able to help. It is your duty to step up and charge your worth, because then you can grow your business and you can help more people. Please remember this. Now, I want you to know this. You are not selling an hour of your time. You are not. You're not selling an hour of your time or a 2-hour workshop or whatever you're putting out there. Truly, what you are selling is transformation. Truly, what you are selling, and please hear me, you are selling transformation in somebody's life, not an hour of your time. You must move away from this mindset of it's 50 quid an hour, 30 quid an hour, 100 quid an hour. You're not. You're selling a transformation in somebody's life, not just your time. So if you think about helping somebody to overcome a massive health issue that they've been suffering with, or you help someone to overcome a massive work issue or find a new career direction, or you help someone to triple their income in their business, or you help save somebody's marriage. Think about that. That's a massive transformation. And then you start thinking, well, how much would you charge for that? How much would somebody be willing to pay to help them to live a healthier life or to save their marriage? It is huge. The results that we get are huge for people. And I just want you to remember that it's transformation. Transformation is the name of your game. So I want you to ask yourself this question. What do I need to believe about myself in order to charge whatever that amount is, X amount? So what do I need to believe about myself in order to charge XXX amount? Ask yourself that question and really think about, what is it that I need to believe about myself? You have to get comfortable with charging. You have to get comfortable with selling yourself if you truly are going to succeed in your business. So here we are at miracle number 5, modern marketing miracle number 5, which is marketing mastery. So here we are at the juicy bit. This is where I'm going to teach you how to market your business. But let me be clear. You cannot market your business. You cannot implement some of the things that I'm about to share with you if your foundations are in place. So if you don't know who your market is, you don't know what problem you're solving, you're not clear on your value funnel or your pricing structure, those things are fundamental, and you can't market unless you have clarity on those things. So please make sure that you have those things in place, and this marketing strategy, or the marketing strategies I'm about to share, are going to make a hell of a lot more sense, and you're going to be able to implement them with much greater success if your foundations are in place. So I want to talk today about old school marketing versus new school marketing. Old school marketing, more traditional marketing routes, versus the new school sort of digital marketing routes that have come on the scene over the last sort of 5 or 6 years. And I want to just show you this example on screen now. So in front of you, you will see we have old school marketing and new school marketing. So old school is stuff like, and by the way, when I say old school, I don't mean obsolete. On the contrary, I just mean more traditional routes of marketing. And what I would say to you is the old school way of marketing is still very effective, but it can be a longer route to getting clients, a longer route to getting income coming in, whereas some of the new school digital routes are a very fast way of getting clients to your door. So old school marketing is stuff like media, getting in the press, TV, radio, joint ventures, good old-fashioned networking, events and seminars, exhibiting, speaking on stage, PR, public relations, directories, good old-fashioned flyers through the door, paid advertising in magazines and newspapers, SEO, search engine optimization, telemarketing, email marketing. And these are just some of the things I could think of when I was writing them down. So these are some of the more traditional routes to market, and some of the new school routes that are now accessible and available to us are things like social media advertising, what's called pay-per-click advertising, and I'll come to that in a minute. Vlogging, videos and live streaming is massive at the moment. Retargeting, those little ads that chase you around the internet. Obviously social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, podcasting. These are some of the digital ways that are now available to anybody starting a business. If you are starting a business now, you have a huge advantage. Honestly, if you are starting a business now, or you're in the first couple of years of starting a business, you are at a huge advantage. When I started my business 11 years ago, think about this. Facebook didn't exist. It was Friends Reunited in a MySpace. YouTube was in its infancy. I mean, some of these platforms, they were around, but they were nothing like they are today. So I wasn't able to leverage these opportunities in the way that you can today. I had to rely on some of the old school marketing methods, and I did all right. I did fine with it. But you are at a huge advantage because it's a faster route to market. It's a much quicker way of growing a business now if you can tap into some of these digital marketing strategies. So please know, if you are starting a business now, you've got a real head start, and you can really fast track your business if you're willing to get your head around some of these new strategies that are available right now. Now, typically I believe in a business, we all need a marketing plan, absolutely, without a doubt. And we need a mix, I believe, of old school and new school stuff, right? So we need sort of offline and some digital stuff, and we need a good mix. And what I'm about to share with you is the 5 strategies that I am using in my business still right now. These are strategies that I am using this year to attract clients to my business. Now, you've probably seen my Facebook ads, you may have visited my YouTube channel. I'm pretty active online, and these strategies I'm about to share work. They work, they bring clients to my door, and I'm going to open the doors. I'm going to show you exactly what I do and how it works in my business. So if you haven't got a pen and a pad, this is the time you're definitely going to need it. So the first strategy that I want to share with you is video. Video has been a game changer in my business. It's a really important part of what I do. You can visit my YouTube channel and you'll see that for yourself. If you've been on either of my mailing lists with thegameoflife.co.uk or the business side with My Business Baby, you will know that you get emails in your inbox from me, and they include video. Vlogging, that's what I do. Video is hugely powerful because it engages people, because they're seeing you, they're getting a feel for you, they're picking up your energy, and this builds trust and rapport like nothing else. And as a result, it speeds up that buying process. When someone, watches a video, for 10 minutes, they engage with you, they're more likely to watch another video and then effectively buy something or even download your free stuff initially. It is so powerful, and it is easier than ever to record video. Now, I am recording this training, this masterclass, on an iPad. There's no sound, I've got no microphones on. You know, go back 5 or 6 years ago, it was a real pain because we had microphones and lighting and all that kind of stuff. It's so much easier nowadays to put video out there. And with the whole live revolution that has come on the scene over the last couple of years, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Instagram Live, you know, people are happy to have more candid videos out there, and it doesn't matter if you muck up or whatever. So it is massive, and if you haven't got behind the video revolution, then you're missing out. Really, truly, you are. There's nothing wrong with writing a blog post. There isn't. But people are time poor, and I think if they can watch a video rather than read a blog, I think most people would choose to do that. And in fact, statistics show that video is the way forward, because people are much more willing to spend 2 or 3 minutes watching a video than they are reading a big, long blog post. So you need to get behind video, whether that is vlogging on a regular basis with tips and ideas for your audience, and you need to make sure that your content is relevant to the problem that you solve, or it could just be a welcome video, you know, on your homepage. Even that makes a massive difference because people get a feel for who you are. Get behind the video revolution because it is massive, and every single day I get free leads from YouTube. Every single day I get new subscribers signing up to my list from YouTube. It is so powerful. It is very, very important that you take on board video, that you get behind it, and it just takes practice. Get comfortable behind the camera, play around with it until you're happy that you've mastered it. Now, the second strategy that I continue to use in my business is list building. Now, here's something I want you to know. The bigger your mailing list, the more earning potential you have. There's not many people out there that are willing to say this, but the truth is, the bigger your list, the more money you are going to earn. Now, your list isn't just clients that have bought from you. I'm talking about people that haven't bought from you yet. So this is why we have opt-ins and lead magnets on our homepage, right? So this is stuff like download your free meditation. You've probably downloaded mine. This masterclass, you know, was promoted as a lead magnet. By putting your free content out there, people are going to share their email address in order to get it, and this is what list building is about. So if you haven't got lead magnets and opt-ins in place, again, you are massively missing out. On the homepage of your website, or there should be a pop-up at least saying get your blah 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 blah, your free such and such, download now. And in order to access that, they put their name and their email in the box, and then you legally own that data. And once you own that data, then you can communicate with your list every single day. Not every single day, that might be too much. Every single week at least, you can be putting content out to them, like I do with videos. And when you've got a new course or a new project, you're going to have a ready-made audience in which to sell it to, and you'll have no issue getting new clients ever. If you have a strong mailing list and you're communicating with them regularly, you will never ever be without clients again, ever. It's a game changer. And you know what? When I started my business, right at the beginning, the very first thing I ever did was put my list in place. I started building that community up. I made loads of other mistakes and missed loads of other things out, which I had to put in place, you know, further down the line. But I started building that list right from the get-go. And we've got tens of thousands of people now on our mailing list over the years that we've gained. It is so important. The bigger your list, the more money you will earn. So the third strategy that I use in my business is social media advertising or social media marketing. Now, I am not just talking about posting, you know, what I had for breakfast on Facebook or posting some kind of inspiring quote on Twitter. You need to do those things. They're good. They build up your community and they engage people. I'm talking about what is called pay-per-click advertising, PPC advertising, and retargeting ads. Quite simply, this is about putting ads in front of a very targeted audience on social media. Now, did you know there are more people on Facebook than ever before, and there are more people on social media in the evening than there are now watching TV? Think about that. There are more people sitting there with their phone than there are watching TV now. So this is massive. And Again, if you're not on board with this, you are missing out. I mean, you really are missing out on a massive audience, because that's where people are hanging out now, right? Now, traditional advertising would have us place an advert in a newspaper. So go back 10, 20 years, and still, it can still be relevant to do this, especially if you're a local business. But often, we're online businesses, right? We don't have a bricks and mortar business. So this is where social media advertising really comes into play, because it's so powerful for businesses like ours. So if you imagine traditional newspaper advertising, and you'd put an advert, right, in your local newspaper or regional newspaper or national or whatever, the problem with doing that often is that there's an awful lot of wastage. There's a lot of people that are going to read that newspaper that just aren't your target market. They haven't got the problem, or they're not suffering with the problem that you help them to your audience to overcome. So there's an awful lot of wastage, and often it's extremely expensive, right? And you may be lucky to have, a few people that are your target market. Now here's the power. Pay-per-click advertising allows you to advertise to a very specific market. So you can say, I want only people of a certain age that live in a certain area, that follow this particular person, that have this particular problem and have these particular hobbies. So you can be really specific and put an advert together that talks directly to them about the problem that they've got or the result that you can help them to overcome. So you can be super specific, and you only ever pay for the people that click on that advert. So there's no wastage whatsoever, and you're only showing your advert to the exact people that you want to see it. It's a game changer, and it is so fast, because you can literally switch on your advert and have clients come to your door, pretty much, if you get it right. There's certain things you have to have in place, but ultimately it's a really fast way of going to market, far quicker than any other strategy that I know. And this is why we do so much pay-per-click advertising now. And the retargeting side of things is those adverts that sort of chase you around the internet. So you might look at something, you want to buy a pair of shoes, and then you see it pop up somewhere else on Facebook or on Twitter, and that is called retargeting. And again, it's a huge revolution, and it's the way that we now market. It's called interruption marketing, and it's the way things are moving, and you need to get on board with it and embrace it, because it's a fantastic way of reaching out to your people and helping more people in the world. So the fifth way that I market my business is through speaking on stage. So quite similar to video, but even more powerful, speaking on stage, because again, it engages your audience, it builds up that sort of trust factor, that rapport, and it speeds up that buying process. So often when I do a speaking gig, I will take on lots of clients following that speaking gig, because when someone spends 40 minutes listening to you, they really get a sense of who you are and your energy. They really get to know who you are and make a decision whether you're the right person to help them. Now, the key, of course, if you're going to speak on stage, is to speak at the right kind of gigs. The last thing you want to do is speak to an audience that, aren't your audience. They don't want what you have to sell, and that's soul destroying. So you have to do your research and seek out the right kind of venues, the right kind of events, so that the right people are there, and they're your people, and they're going to be people that are very likely to want to work with you. So you have to start small, I think, when you're speaking, just to build up your confidence. So I remember being terrified the first time that I spoke on stage, and actually it was in my marketing career, and I had to speak to the sales team, and it was terrifying. But the more you do it, the more comfortable you get with it. So you might want to start off with a networking event, for example, with a room full of 10 people or 20 people, and build up from there. I mean, some of my audiences have been thousands of people, and it's no more terrifying, funnily enough, than having just 5 people that you're speaking to. So you have to kind of start small and build up from there. And it's not just about getting clients, it's not just about speaking and taking on clients. You don't know who's in the audience, because I actually got spotted by Hay House when I was speaking on stage at an event, and that's how I got my publishing deals. So you don't know who is in the audience. It's not just about gaining clients, but you don't know who's watching. It could be somebody in the media, someone from TV, it could be a publisher. You just don't know. It is the best way to build up your credentials, to get known as the go-to expert, and of course to gain new followers and new business. And the final way that I market my business is through the media. getting in magazines, newspapers, getting on radio, TV, that kind of thing. Hugely powerful. And the reason this is so important to do is because it raises your profile. You get known as the go-to expert in your field, and this really is important because it's so powerful to have a media logo like the BBC or the Huffington Post or Spirit and Destiny magazine, who I write for all the time. To have that logo on your website really makes a difference because people take you more seriously and it raises your profile, and then other people in the media take note of that, and it matters. And you know what? It's so much easier to get in the media than you think. Now, it makes sense, again, to start small, locally. So one of the very first magazines that I ever went in was a really small local village magazine that only went out to a few thousand people. And I initially went in there, and then I thought, well, maybe I could go in the local newspaper. And that's what I did. And then I went regionally, and then eventually it built up into nationals. And once you get into nationals, then it starts rolling, really. You start to build relationships up within that industry. It's so easy to do because what you have to remember is these magazines, newspapers have to fill their newspapers, magazines with good content, right? They have to have good stories. They need content. They need people like you to share tips with them and stories with them. So it really is about being brave and picking up the phone and saying, hey, this is the work that I do. These are the kinds of people that I help. This is the kind of problem that I help solve in the world. Can I write for you? Or can I, share some tips with you? And often they will say yes. It's not as hard as you think. So again, it's been a powerful strategy for me over the years, and it's still something that I now do. I still do a lot of work for national magazines, and I absolutely love it. It's a real privilege, and it raises your profile. So it's definitely something for you to consider on your marketing plan. So your job now I've kind of bared all and I've shared exactly what my marketing plan is really for this year, I want you to think about your marketing plan. You cannot grow a business on fresh air. I think there's a lot of smoke and mirrors in this industry around, as coaches, experts, practitioners, word of mouth and all of that. No, you'll get so far doing that, but at some point you're going to have to financially invest in advertising. You're going to have to promote your business. So you need a marketing plan, you need a marketing strategy. So make sure, following what I've shared with you, you think about what your strategy is going to be over the next year. So we come to our final miracle. Marketing miracle number 6 is mindset mastery. Max has joined us for this miracle. This is something I'm truly passionate about, and I've written 2 books on the subject of mindset and spirituality and abundance and all that kind of good stuff. I couldn't leave this out because ultimately your mindset will determine whether you succeed or fail in business. Your thoughts create your reality. You are truly a co-creator. And I want to bring your attention to your own mindset, your own mind chatter around your business venture, around your business growth, your business potential. Because you have to master this. You have to really check in with yourself regularly in order to make sure that you are not sabotaging your success. Your mindset matters hugely. And if you're not careful, you can run the risk of sabotaging yourself. And I've done this many times in my journey. And I've come to a place now where I've learned how to manage my own mind chatter so that I can keep in a place of abundance. I can keep in a place of flow, creative flow. And for me, the way that I manage my own limited beliefs, my limited thinking, is to create a daily practice. So every day I spend 5, 10, 15 minutes quietening my mind, transcending the mind and getting to a higher state of consciousness. And when you do that, that's where all the magic happens. That's where all the divinely guided ideas are. That's when you get solutions to things that you've been worrying about. That's where all the magic happens. And I think anybody that has succeeded in business truly has learnt how to do this. Now, they might not describe it in the way that I am, but if they're successful, pop stars, business people, best-selling authors, they've learnt how to combat their own negative mind chatter and get to a higher state of consciousness. Now, I do this by meditation. It's something that I've been doing for a long, long time, and I know that it keeps me in a good place. There's no doubt about it. And when I've got a daily practice of meditation, I just get the best ideas. I know what my next best move is. It's a divinely guided advice that comes through. So I'd like to encourage you to create a daily practice, 5 minutes a day where you can quieten the mind and come to a still place of just being present. And when you are present, you reach a higher state of consciousness, and that is where all of the ideas come. That's when you'll get an idea for the business, or you'll think, oh, I need to do this, or I need to phone such and such, or an opportunity will present itself. You need to be awake. You need to be conscious, a higher state of consciousness, and you do this by just taking a bit of time out every day. And especially when things get busy in your business, you need to do it more than ever. Don't let your mindset rule your life and your business. It's not the way forward. You need to transcend that and get to that higher state. And meditation is a wonderful, wonderful way. In fact, I know of no other better way. I mean, there are lots of other things you can do. Exercise and running can put you in that state of consciousness. But for me, meditation has been the game changer. So I'd like to encourage you to carve out 5 minutes a day where you can quieten your mind and reach that place of serenity and peace, and let the inspiration flow. So let's recap on all of the wonderful things that we've covered so far in this masterclass. So number 1, we talked about stepping into your power, really stepping in and embodying your purpose, really showing up in the world in the way that you know that you want to and need to now. The second thing that we talked about was solving the big problem. This is the number 1 business foundation that you have to have in place if you really want to succeed in business. The third thing that we discussed, the third miracle, was your value funnel, really getting clear on what it is you're going to be offering to the world. And miracle number 4 was about remembering that you're selling transformation. You're helping to transform people's lives and not just selling an hour of your time. In miracle number 5, I shared my marketing strategy. We talked a little bit about old school versus new school, and really what an advantage you have right now if you're starting a business, and really getting on board with that. And of course, I shared my own 5 marketing strategies as well. And finally, we touched on mindset. We talked about mindset and how important it is to master your mindset if you truly want to succeed. So I've got a checklist that I want to run you through, a checklist of questions for you to ask yourself following this masterclass today. So number 1, I want you to ask yourself, are you truly ready to step up into your power and play your part in the world? Are you fully ready to live your purpose? Number 2, are you super duper clear on who your target market is? And most importantly, are you clear on what problem specifically you are solving for your target market? Number 3, are you clear on your value funnel? Do you know what you're going to be offering for free? What your lead magnets and opt-ins are going to be? What are you going to offer that's low ticket, mid-range and high range? What are you going to charge? Have you fleshed out what that offering is going to look like? Number 4, does your website, your branding, your social media presence and all of your marketing reflect the problem that you're solving? Is it talking directly to your target market? Just remember, when someone visits your website or your social media pages, literally they have seconds to make a decision whether you're the person for them or not. So you have to make sure that your online presence reflects what you do. Number 5, have you got a marketing plan? Have you got a marketing plan, a marketing strategy in place? Do you know how you're going to grow your business? You can't grow your business on fresh air, so how are you going to get out there and become more visible? And final checklist question, what is your daily practice going to look like? What are you going to do to keep your mindset in a good place? Now, please don't panic if you're sat there thinking, oh my goodness, I've got none of these things in place. Or maybe there's just a few elements that you know you're weak in. And you're like, I haven't got a marketing strategy, or I don't know how to do Facebook ads, I wouldn't know where to start, or I don't know what problem I'm solving. Please don't panic, because I have something for you that may well just help you. Now, I want to share something with you. I call it a secret, but I don't suppose it is really. But I didn't get where I am today on my own. I didn't. I've worked really hard over the last 11 years, but there came points in my business where I realised I didn't have the answers. I didn't know, and I knew I needed help. So when I got to those places where I was stuck, I found somebody to help me. I had to, because the fact is, you don't know what you don't know, right? If you don't know what you don't know, you could spend years fishing around online trying to find the way forward. Or you can make a decision to invest in yourself and your business and get the knowledge that you need so that you can move forward. Now, I've said this many times and you're probably sick of hearing it, but you can't grow your business on fresh air. And it really frustrates me that there are people out there teaching, you can grow your business and you haven't got to invest. And I think a lot of people believe this. The fact is, you have to invest in advertising or mentoring if you want to be around in the next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. I'm only sitting here right now, all these years later, and the success I've had is because I've realised that I needed to invest in my business. If you truly want to create a movement, if you truly want to live your purpose and make your mark, if you want to earn decent money from your passion, then I'd like to invite you to have a conversation with me. If you want to work with somebody that has walked the path and truly grown a business from the ground up, then I'd like to have a conversation. I'd like to invite you to have what I call a business strategy session. This is an hour. It's a free hour with me, just me and you. It's not a sales member in our a sales team that you're going to speak to. It is me that you're speaking to. Now, let me be really, really clear before you rush off and book, because this is not for everybody. I am really busy. My primary focus as a spiritual teacher at the moment is writing my third book. I'm busy putting a retreat together and an online course that's launching very soon. I have a really busy schedule, but throughout the year I work with about 30 entrepreneurs just like you who are ready to grow their business. They're at the point where they know they need help and they're looking for a mentor. So this business strategy session is for individuals that know they need help and they're ready to step into their power and they're ready to work with somebody who can help them. So if you get good vibes from me, if you feel my vibes and you like my energy and you valued what I've said today, then please feel free to come and book a session. Now, on the call, we will have a chat, we'll get to know each other, I'll find out a little bit more about where you're at right now. Most importantly, what it is you're trying to create, where you need help. And once I know this, then I can see whether I can help you. And if we're a good fit, I may then invite you to become one of my private clients. Now, this is a free initial session, but please don't book if you're someone that just fancies having a chat with me, or you're somebody that just likes freebies and you're not at a place where you're ready to invest and grow in your business. Please be somebody that is serious. So if you would like to book a business strategy session, I'd love to chat with you, find out more about where you're at. You can click the link right below this video and you'll be taken directly to my diary where you can select a date and time, and obviously then we can have a chat. If the link isn't below, then please visit mybusinessbaby.com/book a session. So that's mybusinessbaby.com/book a session, and I look forward to connecting with you. I genuinely thank you for being with me today. Whether we work together or not, I wish you well for the future, for your business, and remember, you are on this planet for a very special reason. So please go out there and shine your light and help as many people as you can with your wonderful work. See you again soon. Bye.